We would be honored if you would join us.
Hey Star Wars fans and collectors, welcome back to another vintage collection action figure review. We're taking a look at the first figure from the Obi-Wan Kenobi Showdown / Jules End 2-pack. We're going to be taking a look at Obi-Wan Kenobi this time, but I just wanted to share with you the box that they come in. Really nicely done. I think this is a really good medium to get multiple figures out. Because I could kind of foresee that, you know, maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi wouldn't sell as well as the Vader out on shelves. So to put them out together, you know, it's perfect. Just theme them together. I think it works well. We do have HK 47 and Jedi Revan coming out too very, very shortly. If not, it's already out. I know I've seen some YouTubers have already grabbed it. But yeah, it's a nice way to package them up. And for us here in Australia, this retailed for about $60, which, you know, $30 a figure is actually pretty good these days. So, nevertheless, we're going to take a look at Obi-Wan Kenobi's VC290. Comes in a really nice looking card, unpunched, for those that are carded collectors. I'll be trying to keep these cards nice and fresh, but I will be taking the bubble off the card and opening the figure to take a look at it. So. And it's one I may even look at getting a second set to have these two together carded as well, because they do look great. So there's figures on the back there. Reviewed most of these at one point or another. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi Showdown. More or less the same figure that came out in the Black Series under the Jabeam name. But it's looking pretty good, so without further ado, let's crack him open and have a look. Alright folks, here is Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi, out of the packaging here. He's looking fantastic. This is a really, really nice looking figure, to be honest. I'm a big fan of this one, and looking forward to it. So yeah, we'll just have a little spin around and take a look. You see we're rocking that sort of dark brown sort of robes. Really nice looking head sculpt. We'll get a closer look at that in a moment. We have his lightsaber, which for me, I don't know, it looks a little bit, this is a different sculpt to what they've used in the past. I've got to admit, it feels a little bit that's the best way I can put it. It just doesn't, it feels a little bit, I don't know, underwhelmed by, but it is tiny. Like that's my fingernail. But yeah, they've definitely done better with the hilts in the past. So you see the paint job, we got a little bit of that sort of darker grey sort of bleeding onto the blade. But at the end of the day, this is going to be in his hands. He's not going to notice it too much. We do have the unlit hilt there with the peg, which again, compared to other 3 3/4 inch lightsabers, it just feels a little bit small with a chunky peg sort of sticking out the side. I know that's the point, you know, you display that on the figure. And sort of tucked behind him there. And that's not too bad. Look, it is what it is. Like, maybe the blades we've had in the past have been too big. Who knows? And again, we come with his blaster pistol that we saw with the Wandering Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi figure from the earlier in the series. And that sort of slots in nicely, if it wants to play nicely. Should fit in there well. Yeah, it's a nice snug fit. That's not going anywhere. So yeah, just the 3 accessories, which is fine. Doesn't need any more. But yeah, the head sculpt, tell you what, that's looking quite good. He's got that sort of almost ready tinge to the hair, being the Scotsman that Ewan McGregor is. And beard. The beard looks a little bit yellow on camera, but it's not. Just sort of contrasts against the sort of reddy brownishness of the hair. And you can see there's a nice wash through that as well. Gives the hair a bit of extra layer and depth, which is good. I guess the thing being able to do the hair sculpted separately to the face, you're not getting any mispainting on the forehead that we've seen occasionally in the past, which is definitely a nice inclusion of the technology used to make these figures nowadays. And it just with the little details like that, it does help justify the higher price point we're paying these days. The technology that goes into these figures is far superior than what we had even 5 to 10 years ago. So not going to get too many complaints from me. Just, we can't afford them. I don't buy them all. But in terms of the outfit, I think, just almost a very traditional sort of prequel era Jedi robe. Over the top, the tunic and the tabards over the top there. It's sitting really nicely. Looks good. The legs here are reused from the Wandering Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi, just slightly different colour. The pants are a little bit darker. I'm just trying to look over at my other figure. They may be very similar actually, but the outfit he wore in the start was quite a brighter, sort of sandier colour in comparison to the sort of darker robes he's wearing here. But yeah, just nicely sculpted all throughout, I think. I'm pretty happy with this one. I'm looking forward to getting these two on display. I'll be reviewing the Vader next. In terms of articulation, he does have the double barbell joint in the neck. It doesn't allow for any extra movement having that joint. It's just the way it's done now. Ball hinge in the shoulders, ball hinge in the elbows. Appears to be hinges in the wrists. Maybe a slightly limited just due to the sleeves that hang a little bit. You can see both up and down hinges. And even just in the top of the sleeve there seems to be just a little bit of extra plastic there, but I've got the X-Acto knife so I can just sort of trim that out a little bit. Not a big deal. Torso joint there. Moves reasonably well. Underneath, got the sort of the T-bar joint there. Still got the thigh swivel. Pretty solid knee joint there for the hinge. And then ankle rocker with the sort of the pivot and the hinge. And peg test, which as you saw earlier in the video, I had him standing on the pegs of the stand. And they fit beautifully. Don't necessarily need to give him that wide stance, but you get 1 foot on there. That works well. It almost goes all the way in, but it's enough that you can display this guy and he's not going to fall over or anything. So he's looking pretty good. I'll be honest. This is probably one of my favorite scenes from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I think most people would agree. Just the way it sort of closed the sort of chapter on Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker and allowed them to sort of move past their broken selves. I will play around with this a little bit more to try and get him in a dual wielding pose. Actually, just kind of looks nice just with his, lightsaber like that. Cool to get some rocks floating behind him. I like it. It's a nice Obi-Wan Kenobi. Could be one of my favorites in the collection, to be honest. Really, really good. And just because I can, I'll probably just keep that peg there it will more than likely just end up in the accessory box, but just for now. I know it's there, I know it's safe, I know it's out of the way. But yeah, appreciate you checking this one out, folks. If you got this far, please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Stay tuned, got Vader. We'll be going live tomorrow, as of the time of this one uploading. Yeah, at the end of that video, I'll bring them both back together and display them side by side, and we'll take a look. Well, thanks very much for watching, folks. I do appreciate your time, appreciate your comments, all your thumbs up, all your support. Does mean a lot to me. But until next one, may the Force be with you always.